So the beginning of this episode was a Game of Thrones wet dream, I would say, for fans. Seeing all the main players finally together and finally seeing Cersei see Jon, Jon see Cersei, and then Cersei see Daenerys come down on a dragon. That was such an awesome entrance on her part and definitely lived up to the hype of her meeting Cersei. And I love the dialogue we had here between Tyrion and certain players on the other side, including Euron, who was a big asshole this episode, and now I really do not like him the way he was talking to Tyrion. Maybe wanted him to die right there, but also shows you Jaime's still for Tyrion and how good of a guy Jaime is, where he's like, Euron, stop doing that, like sit back down. Certain dialogue in this scene and sequence was showing a lot of people stood. Now, obviously the most important part here was them showing Cersei the White Walker, and it seemed like Tyrion's plan was working really well, and you're like, oh, this is affecting her, and kind of freaked her out. And then Jon does the Ned thing, the Stark way, stays honest. And you know what? It was one of those things where he kind of was going to what he believed, and it was the right move because he was like, everyone does the lying games, everyone does the scheming to survive. But he was like, no, like my queen is Daenerys, and he really stuck it to Cersei, which I love to see. And it was cool because Daenerys got it. It wasn't maybe the most strategic thing, but he's doing what he believes in and wants the world to become. And if he wants people to work together, he wants them to be honest. So I do respect Jon's move here. So it kind of led Tyrion to a weird situation where he had to go now talk to Cersei. I love the dialogue between Tyrion and Jaime where they're like, I'm about to go into the room with the most murderous woman in the world. And I was so nervous for Tyrion here. I thought they might actually kill him, but he did not get killed. And Peter Dinklage continues to be on a different league of acting than anybody in the show. Peter Dinklage in this scene just brings it 100%. Like, especially the dialogue with Cersei. And Lena Headey's killing it too. And the way they're going back and forth. And they're kind of just like, they can't stand each other so much. But they're trying to work through it. Or at least Tyrion is. And then Cersei with that little rubby on the tummy being pregnant. It's a big thing to get in Tyrion's head in a way. Because Tyrion does feel bad about the kids. And that is genuine Tyrion there. Obviously, he hated his father, and his father was a jerk, but those kids was something he definitely regrets, and Cersei knows playing that pregnancy card will get in Tyrion's head a bit. Now, Cersei playing everybody, I knew that was going to happen. Thank God it did, because I got nervous when she said she was like, oh yeah, everyone, I'm down to help. It's all good, and the little happy music's playing. I was like, please don't make this what actually happens. Like, it can't. Let's keep this Cersei as a villain. She's too good as a villain. And that's why I love, love, love this scene with her and Jaime. And Jaime's like ready to go north and help. And she's like, we're not doing that. Like, what do you think? Like, and then Jaime's like, are you kidding me? Like, Cersei, how low are you going to go here? And how stupid are you going to be? And the best point Jaime made was like, look, either way, whoever wins their war is going to kill us. Whether it's the White Walkers or Daenerys and her dragons because we betrayed them. So we don't have a choice here. Who would you rather fight? And she's just like, no, we'll let them fight. And then we'll buy an army with our money in the bank. So she's going back to her father's ways about how money, if you have money, it rules everything. So she's staying to her Lannister grounds and does have some good points here to Jaime because she's more concerned about the real long game here, thinking that humans will survive and that she still wants to make sure they're on top and not bowing down to Daenerys. Now, Jaime's not cool about this, and I thought, wait a second, is Cersei going to really pull the plug on Jaime? Because they teased her doing it to Tyrion and they didn't, so I thought, wait, is she going to do it on Jaime? And the Mountain, haven't seen him do anything in a while, takes his sword up, and I was like, oh my god, my stomach dropped, but it was a bluff. Cersei's not going to do that because she loves Jaime still. And Jaime left. Jaime did the big boy move. He's letting go of a toxic relationship. He's getting out there. It's snowing. Props to Jaime. This was really exciting to see. Now his story, I think, is just going to really have a high ceiling here where it can go. He's such a great character on the show. He's very popular and he's complicated. We always talk about this. But him now going on his own into Winterfell is going to be something else, and seeing how he can get respect from everyone else. I mean, look, they're willing to work with a lot of them. And if Jaime can just keep it cool, we'll see how useful he can be to end this White Walker war. I really did not like, I'm going to mention this because I was mad at how Bronn talked to Tyrion too. Everyone was being a jerk to Tyrion. What the hell? Like, Bronn and Euron, you can go screw yourselves. Like, now I'm pissed. He's talking like, oh yeah, well, Cersei's offering me more money. I'm doing this for the queen and I can give her your head. Like, easy does it, Bronn. Like, Tyrion's your boy. What are you doing? So that felt out of character to me for him. I didn't really like that. But it was good to see Bran see the Hound, and then Bran see Jaime, and Bran knocked some sense into Jaime, which you need to hear. And I like how the Hound was reacting to everyone. He wasn't overreacting. He's a different person, clearly. And I like how the Hound and Brienne talked about Arya, their little murderous child, we should say, that they both raised. And how the Hound saw the Mountain and kind of was just like, yo, you look like shit, you know? So it's kind of a nice little comeback to what happened to his face to what the Mountain looks like. And I really love the scene with Theon and Jon, because I'm not crazy about the Theon storyline. I'm not crazy about his scenes and all the Greyjoy stuff in general. But this scene was special, and the way he talked to Jon and the way Jon forgave him shed a little tear again in my eye. A little tear came out, just a tiny bit. It wasn't a crying session, but it was just a little drop. And I thought that was so powerful how Jon was like, you're a Stark and you're a Greyjoy and you have Ned in you, and I forgive you for what you screwed me over on. You know, you have other people to answer to clearly about this, but I forgive you. And it showed some real strength on Jon's part, more than anybody, to be able to do that. And it really showed how awesome of a character Jon is and what he's become as a man. And it set up a good thing for Theon to really have motivation now to redeem himself. And now I get why he didn't help Yara in the beginning. And that it was like, I was worried about that because like, are we really dragging out this Theon being a bitch? But no, like now it actually makes sense they set that up. And that he got in that fight with the island with the other Ironborns really made sense now. And it was cool to see him stick up for himself. And then him getting hit in the nuts, and there are no nuts. Big sell to not have balls. For any guy who's thinking about losing his nuts, it's great if you're in a fight and you don't get affected there. So maybe that whole Reek thing finally had its payoff for him. He better be the one who takes down Euron, and we have that Euron-Theon duel, because that's the only way Theon's going to really, really try to redeem himself here and show he can be a man again and save his sister who saved him. Now, those are all my positives of the episode. Now, I have a lot of gripes with this episode as well. My biggest gripe being Littlefinger's death. Now, I know I'm biased because I love Littlefinger's character. I have since season 1. He's been such a big player. He's done so much behind the scenes and really set up how everything's become, how screwed up it has been. I mean, they pretty much set his resume before they killed him. And it's impressive. And for him to die this way, to me, was too easy. And it felt duped as a viewer. Obviously, we were tricked, and so was Littlefinger, thinking, you know, Sansa and Arya are kind of against each other, but this whole time they've been together. But I would have more liked to see that scene where Bran is talking to Sansa and Arya about what has really happened with Littlefinger, and in the past they didn't know, and then reacting to it, instead of kind of just tricking us now every week and dragging it where we think they're against each other, and then, gotcha, we're not, and now we're going to kill Littlefinger. Like, it was too a bait and switch kind of thing, sleight of hand, whatever you want to call it. Didn't like it. I thought Littlefinger deserved a better death, too. A very good death. And it just basically came off to me as underwhelming because Littlefinger didn't really do anything this season. And he really hasn't done anything the past 2 seasons. He's just kind of been Sansa's creepy, obsessed stalker, lover, whatever you want to call it. Comes through the veil during the Battle of the Bastards, but we didn't know his endgame here. We didn't know where he was going, and I think this just revealed the writers didn't know where they were going with Littlefinger, and they killed him like this. They had no big move for him revealed. There was nothing. I mean, from a guy who did such masterful moves behind the scene, what was his big plan then the past 3 seasons when he's just been with Sansa? Just sitting there and trying to brainwash Sansa? He had to have other stuff lined up and thought of this as a scenario when Arya got back. Or he's just a sitting duck when Arya got back thinking he was totally going to fool her? He's smarter than that. So I thought that scene was terrible. I thought it was just, from a fan's perspective, it's a lot of fan servicing, and I get why people be excited, and it's cool to see Arya slash his throat, but I would have rather seen that if Littlefinger had done something to cause that immediate, like something huge before he went out, because he hasn't done anything huge in 3 seasons. So for that to happen, for a guy who's playing for the throne, who's made masterful moves, and just be fooled like that and not have done anything the past 3 seasons, very disappointing to me. Then I thought the Bran and Samwell scene was silly, honestly. And I thought that it was kind of annoying that Gilly wasn't there. Sam's taking her fire, and Gilly is going to get no credit now for figuring out the Jon stuff. And Bran's like, oh yeah, this and that, and that and this. And I could have said this to a bunch of people, but I've just decided not to. And now I'm going to tell Samwell. So he only tells him when it's like most important. He should have been telling that right away and sent a Raven out right away letting Jon know that. And he didn't. Now he's going to backtrack, and then they're going to find out after the two have had sex, and I want to go to that scene. I did like that scene a lot. Not in that way, but I like the scene because, look, Jon and Dany, they're the two most popular characters in the show, finally in love, and we've waited for this for a long time. Clearly, it's a little weird because she's his aunt. They don't know it, though, so can't blame them. And it's one of those things where it's like, all right, I guess we got to act like we don't know either. But they're going to find out. I mean, and I feel bad for Jorah, too, man. Jorah just wanted Daenerys to him. Jon's like, I'm taking her on a ship. And he's like, please don't. And he is, and he got laid. Jorah knew it was up. He knew it was happening. So, Jorah, you're going to have to find somebody else at this point, man. I'm really sorry to tell you that. I think you got to get over the Daenerys thing. You know, take a walk on the beach. It's beautiful sights over there, Dragonstone. You're going to be fine. There's plenty of women out there. So, keep your head up, Jorah. I think you're the MVP this episode, the way you're handling everything. But overall, I'm going to give this episode a 7.5. I love the wall scene at the end with the dragon. You know I love this ice dragon thing. Very cool. Didn't like that we didn't know if Tormund or the priest died, though. Just show us. Show them get away. Or show them die. Stop with the mysteries. You gotta really stop with these. Did someone die or nothing? I was disappointed there was basically, besides that, if we know or not, any huge deaths except Littlefinger. I wanted someone we like to go down in this episode. We didn't get that. So now we gotta wait another 2 years for that. And I hope it's not too much fan service. It was better this season than last season with less fan service. But I feel like we're running out of, like, crazy stories now. Now it's kind of everything's centered in. So it doesn't feel as Game of Thrones anymore where there's a lot of stories going on. But we knew this was going to happen. I hope they just keep it interesting. It's not so clear now and cut. And it's not making me stimulated as much thinking about it. That's the only concern I have with how this ended and where this is going. Kind of just, here's the ice dragon. Here's the other sides. Let's see what happens. They got to keep it us thinking, though. They can't just keep everything revealed and everything fan servicing the way people want. We knew Jon's fate here. We knew what he was going to become with the Targaryen thing. They did a good job, best they could, with everyone already knowing that and revealing more. But still, it still all feels like we know it's coming. So give us more shock. Give us more curveballs, which I thought was going to come with Littlefinger. Now we lost him. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to give this 7.5. I'm a little disappointed with the finale. It was my second least favorite episode besides the premiere. And the rest of the season I loved. I thought this was a great season. Ranking on Game of Thrones seasons, Season 4 is still my favorite season, but this season's probably my second favorite. So I'm happy about that. I think the show is great, and I can't wait. It's going to be a while till we get back to it. So it should be about 2 years. So please join me for that with those reviews for Game of Thrones. But don't leave me. I'm also doing reviews for The Fall, American Horror Story, Survivor, Walking Dead, and The Deuce that's going to be on HBO now Sunday nights replacing Game of Thrones. So check that new show out as well. I do movie reviews. Keep coming back to me. I do trailer reactions, celebrity interviews. Please subscribe. Comment below with your thoughts of this episode and the season as a whole. I respond to everybody. And keep coming back.